more advanced, you will not be able to follow along with a lot of the advanced features moving forward. So I always encourage everybody, if you're new to IT, you're just coming into IT, understanding the cloud practitioner requirements, the fundamentals within any field is very critical, because this is what is going to help boost your confidence. It's going to teach you the lingo, the way that these courses are meant to be taken, the way that you should be able to, at least the fundamentals in regards to what you should know to be able to thrive in that environment. So after this cloud practitioner exam, we do move on to the associate level. As you can see, within the associate level, you do have three options here. You can go the solutions architect route, the developer route, or the systems operations administration route. So there are a lot of leeway. There's a lot of ways that you can go about these things, and we are going to go into a lot more details as we move forward. But for now, we will be going on with cloud practitioner and solutions architect. All right. Now, are you guys back on my PowerPoint on the introduction page? Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. So basically for this training, we do have many different organizers and instructors that will be covering this training. As you can see up there, we have Olayemi, Bolanle, Notando, OVA, Jacob, me, myself, Ben, Raphael, Wendy, and Timex. All of us are located in different places, but we will all try our best to cover different topics, different projects for us to follow along with, and just get to know us. If you have questions, do not hesitate to ask questions. Just raise your hand. You can type your questions into the chat, into the message box there, and we will try to answer your questions as best as we can as we go along. Now, these are some of the cloud computing services in which we will be covering during this course for AWS. We will go over the introduction to AWS cloud computing as a whole, introduction to Linux systems, setting up your AWS account. Then we will go into more details in regards to services within AWS, dealing with access management, storage services, CloudFront, Snowball, storage gateway, things of that nature, which are all related to cloud. Some things that you guys will notice, I don't know, because some people might have AWS knowledge already. Some people might be coming from Azure, which is Microsoft's version. Some people may be coming from GCP, which would be the Google Cloud Practitioner, the Google Cloud space as well. So all of these things will relatively be familiar if you've come from cloud already, but we will go into more details into these services as we go along. As I said, the certifications that we are focused on for this particular course will be your cloud practitioner for the foundational level, the solutions architecture for your associate level. And if you're still with us, we will go a lot more into detail into the security specialty as well. So we're looking forward to everybody being able to pass at least those first two examinations, and we'll try our best to prepare you for those. Everybody with me so far?
Yes, very well, very well.
Yeah, very much.
Awesome. So cloud computing. Why are a lot of us looking into the cloud space? There's a reason why we are all looking into this space, is because we do know that technology as a whole is pointing us into this direction, which is the fact that we know that this can be a very lucrative, career path for many of us. A lot of us that come from third world countries, let's say like we come from Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa. A lot of us, we don't see a lot of these things being talked about within our community very much. So we're trying to bring awareness to these things just so that a lot of you will be able to see that there are options in regards to the directions that you could go, especially when it comes to cloud computing in general or any work related within the IT space as a whole. All right, so cloud computing. What is cloud computing? Cloud computing basically helps us to deliver on-demand computing resources over the internet. There are many different models that come with this, which is the pay-as-you-go pricing model that helps us to be able to reduce capital expenditure or operational cost as a whole. It helps us to eliminate the need for on-premise data centers, which helps us to be able to scale up, scale out, and it gives us a lot more flexibility and convenience in regards to operation. Now let's look at something here. There are different types of cloud computing options that we do have. A lot of you guys might be familiar with some of these, where you do have your public cloud, which is resources that is available to everyone and anyone over the internet. You have your private clouds, which is usually exclusive use by a single organization. And you have your hybrid cloud, which is a combination of the public and the private. Those are some things in which you guys are going to have to be familiar with in terms of what type of cloud resources your organization or different organizations are utilizing. Most organizations nowadays are typically hybrid in regards to their cloud-based resources or their infrastructure as a whole. So getting an understanding of that is very good. We will go into a lot more details and a lot of the things in which I'm touching base on today. Just bear with me because I just want you guys to just have a little bit of understanding in regards to what cloud computing is, what the benefits are, what it entails. And then once we actually start the classes, we get down to business, okay? Some of the benefits for cloud computing is that one, it reduces IT cost, increased flexibility and scalability, improves security and reliability, real-time collaboration and access to data, disaster recovery and backup solutions. These are some of the advantages of being able to have cloud resources. Let me see here. There's something else I wanted to show you guys really quickly. All right, this is something I wanted to show. Basically, in regards to the current statistics that we have for cloud, salary payments for somebody with particular certifications, whether you're starting as a cloud practitioner or you're starting as a solutions architect, this is relatively what you're looking at in terms of compensation. It could definitely be more depending on the organization or the type of organization that you guys are joining, right? So to be able to get this entry-level AWS cloud practitioner job, it is not easy, but it is possible, especially if you are transitioning from within your own organization, or you already work within an organization that does have IT, an IT department, so to speak, right? Like initially when I first transitioned myself, I was working in a completely unrelated field. But because my organization had an IT department, when I did get my cloud practitioner certification, I was able to transition into that field, being able to get a salary boost based on just that cloud practitioner certification. So it really just depends on how you go. But this is a base in most areas or region. This is kind of what you would be looking at if you're a cloud practitioner. It gets a little bit better when you become when you become a solutions architect, it becomes a little bit different. But let's see here. Now, let's talk about a little bit in regards to cloud computing services. We're talking about the different types of services that we do have within cloud. There are typically 4 options when it comes to this. You might have your infrastructure as a service, which is your virtual servers, your storage, and your networking. You may also have your platform as a service, which is a platform for building and developing certain applications that you may have. Your software as a service, which is your cloud-based software applications in itself. There's so many different directions in which you can go, and the way to build out these things is completely unique to each cloud provider. Examples of cloud computing services. We have your Amazon Web Services, which is what we are going to be going over in this course. You have your Microsoft Azure, your Google Cloud Platform. We have Salesforce, and we do also have Dropbox, which is a cloud computing service as well. Cloud security. We will be going over a lot in regards to encryption and access control. We will be going over a lot in regards to compliance with regulations and standard. So basically, if you guys are aware of HIPAA frameworks, NIST frameworks, ISO frameworks, we will go a little bit into details in regards to those services. Also, physical security measures that needs to be talked about or taken in your organization, disaster recovery and backup solutions that all these cloud providers also have. There's a reason why a lot of organizations are starting to move into the cloud industry or into the cloud space as a whole. One is the fact that there is rapid growth and adoption for the enterprise. There's basically small and medium-sized businesses can benefit from cloud computing because it helps them to reduce their operational cost just for starting up. The future growth predicted in hybrid and multi-cloud environments has increased as well. And let's see here. The best way to describe cloud computing. Certain things in which you're able to do with cloud-based resources is being able to store and access your data over the internet. On-demand, scalable, and flexible computing power. There is typically, depending on the resource, no upfront cost or long-term commitment. And because of the pay for only what you use model, pay-as-you-go model that they also provide. In summary, for everything that I've done, because I know I've spoken a lot in regards to certain things that we have not gone into a lot of details about just yet, just bear with me. It's going to get a little bit easier as we go, because I will go into a lot more details about particular topics that we're going over right now. Cloud computing is the future of IT infrastructure. It offers many benefits to organizations of all types and all sizes. Basically, choose the right type of cloud computing and service provider based on your needs. Most organizations don't just use one cloud provider. You'll find out that there are many organizations that have multi-cloud environments that you will have to get accustomed to. And then basically being able to ensure proper security and data protection measures are in place for your resources. That is basically the basis that I have for today that I'm going to cover. Timex, are you still with me?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm
All
learning.
right. You said you're learning. We haven't started teaching yet. Oh my goodness. Do you want us to go over everything that we do have on this slide for today? I don't want to overwhelm everybody on our first day. I did just want to get the introduction out of the way. So I'm not sure which direction you want to go.
All right, we have just few slides remaining. I think you should rather continue.
Just finish up the basics? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So basically, let's go ahead and talk about AWS and what AWS is. AWS is a cloud computing platform by Amazon. It provides over 175 fully featured services. So there are a lot of things to go over there. It is used by individuals and organizations of all sizes. And what it does provide is it helps businesses reduce cost and increase flexibility. AWS, what they do provide is an infrastructure. They provide the data centers, which are located worldwide. They provide services that have uptime of 99.99%. Their resources are highly scalable, and they are typically secure and compliant in regards to governance and everything like that. Some of the services that we will be going over in this course will be for the compute services. Examples would be the EC2, Elastic Compute Cloud, and the Lambda functions as well. We will go over storage services, which will be our S3, Elastic File Storage Systems, EFS as well. We will speak about our data services, which is you'll have your structured data and your unstructured data resources, your RDS, your DynamoDB, your Aurora DBs, Mongo. We will talk about a lot of the database services or services provided. We will also speak about our networking services, which will be your VPC, your load balancing for your applications. Those are things in which we will go over as well. Now, the biggest thing that I feel like we will bring to you guys will be our use cases in regards to some of these resources, your web and mobile app hosting services, your big data processing and analysis, your content delivery and media transcoding, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. We may not go too in depth in regards to machine learning and artificial intelligence, but we will try to touch base on some of these resources as well. The way that AWS works with their pricing, they do have many different ways in which you can pay for your services. Some, the first and foremost, will be pay as you go, no upfront costs. You pay for only what you use, and they do have a lot of resources that come within their free tier that is available for new users to be able to test out these services. What we will be doing within the next couple of classes, once we get to that point, we will be creating our AWS console accounts for our console to be able to get access to the console. And we will be testing out a lot of these resources. So we will go over creation of your VPCs. We will go over the setups in regards to your IAM, access management, and things of that nature as we go along as well. And I believe we've gone over some of the benefits that we have. It's highly scalable, it's reliable, the security features are embedded into some of these things, some of our resources there, the cost effectiveness, and the fact that it has a global reach in regards to being highly available in most regions. So like I said, some of the things that we will be doing will be signing up for the AWS account. We will be choosing some of the services that we are going to use, which is part of the syllabus that we already sent out to you guys. We will be creating instances and we will be configuring said instances. So you will be able to do a lot of these things by yourself, and you will know, you'll be able to speak on it from the standpoint of actually having done it. You'll be able to start to build up on applications as well. And that is all I have for you for today in regards to our introduction. Now, there is something else I wanted to take a look at because I know Timex sent this out, but let me just make sure that everybody has seen it. Everybody, please just confirm for me that you do have access to this training schedule that we do have here.
Yes, I have seen it.
Okay, perfect. So
Yes.
basically, awesome. Thank you. Thank you for that response. I'm glad that you guys have this. So what I want to prepare for, because I noticed that we do have our introduction to Linux first. It seems like we want to go into the direction of getting you guys used to some of these resources and actually having an understanding of the command line, right? We will do an intro to Linux. We want to get you guys used to it. So today I will give you guys an assignment. How many of you have access to VirtualBox already on your laptops or computers?
I don't even know what that is.
Perfect. It's okay. It's okay.
Or Dropbox. Okay.
It's okay. If you don't know what it is, that is perfectly fine. What I'm gonna do here though. If you check your chat box down there, I'm gonna paste a link there for you. This is VirtualBox is basically what we utilize to create a virtual environment, right? This is where we're going to be able to download all other resources. Instead of downloading it onto your computer itself, we will download other operating systems onto our virtual machine so that it will not have to be local onto your computer. It will help us to be able to test out a lot of things, and it will make it easy for you guys to be able to follow along once we start going into the Linux class. So that link that I just shared with you guys, that will take you to the VirtualBox website, right? Which will be this website right here. What I would need you to do, depending on if you're using a Windows computer, if you're using a Mac OS, that's what is going to determine which VirtualBox you would be downloading. If you're using a Windows, go ahead and click on the Windows host. That should go ahead and start the download for you to be able to get that process started. That's the first step of the assignment that you guys are going to have. I'm going to need you to have VirtualBox downloaded on the computer. And the second thing that we are also going to need to have downloaded would be Ubuntu, which we will go through the steps in being able to download that Ubuntu onto your VirtualBox machine. Are you guys with me so far?
Yes, sir.
Awesome, awesome. I'm quite sure you DevOps guys already understand what's going on here, but for some of the newer guys, we will have to bring them up to speed in regards to that. At the end of the day, once you guys have gone through those steps and downloaded VirtualBox and also downloaded Ubuntu, this is basically what I would like to be able to see on your screens on the during the next class. Once we start, I want you guys to be able to have Ubuntu on your computer, and then we will proceed with the Linux classes from there.
Okay.
Now, one thing that I do want you to take note of, if you are looking at this, the Ubuntu webpage, right? There are resources that they have if you scroll down to the bottom. If you scroll down to the bottom of the screen, how to install Ubuntu desktop onto your computer, onto your not your computer, onto your virtual machine. You can follow the link to this. It will give you a step-by-step guide in regards to how to download it and the steps you need to do to download the image, to create the bootable if you're using a USB, or just to do the overall installation. You also have YouTube. YouTube is your friend. If you're having issues in regards to how to download this, right? Let's see. So you guys see there are so many tutorial videos in you being able to download Ubuntu onto your virtual machine. So don't get intimidated. I don't want to hold you guys' hand too much in regards to some of these things, because these are things that you should be able to, you should be able to do research. If I'm coming into this field, you should know how to find things, and you should know how to be able to utilize those things that you found to be able to get what you need to do. Basically right now we do have Ubuntu running. If you take a look, this is my virtual box running right now, and we do have Ubuntu currently running in the background there. I want you guys to have this set up by tomorrow. Would that be possible?
Sure.
Yeah.
I only hear that there are only a couple guys that have been answering me so far. So
Yeah,
we
it's very possible, sir.
so we have 18 people in here. I want to see, are you guys following along? If
Yes.
Yes,
if
sir.
I'm moving too
Yes,
fast,
sir.
please stop me. If you have some questions, don't get me wrong, you can ask your questions and we'll go through it. I just want you guys to be able to find some information for yourself as well, and we'll carry each other along as we go that way.
Okay.
All right, Timex, I believe I'm done for today. Go ahead and you can finish up.